This is the story of Cheeoma and her lost wealth. What happens when all that you invested in and labored for is lost because of one misstep in revealing your information to your closest friend, or so you thought was your friend? Cheeoma Reynolds is her name. She was born a Nigerian, raised for over 12 years in the United States, and returned to Nigeria to anchor herself in business to create a legacy for her family. Cheeoma was married to Wally, who worked for Kingsley Holdings. Kingsley Holdings was a notable cybersecurity company with very influential clients. Cheeoma and Wally agreed that they would intentionally work to gain enough finances to retire early and build a business that they could leave to their children. They were both locked into this idea, and it was working. Wally began to rise in the hierarchy of Kingsley Holdings management, and Cheeoma became a very good fashion designer. Cheeoma became so good that she began to open several stores in the city. She expanded so much that she began receiving 6 40-foot containers of goods weekly. She had many employees on payroll and had to hire a personal assistant to keep a balance between home and her work life. Cheeoma basically handled all the finances of the household. Both Cheeoma and Wally would be blessed enough to host dinners with influential leaders from time to time. It would appear that this couple's life was to be admired. With all of their finances coming in, Cheeoma made sure that she received sound financial advice to ensure that all of her business doings were done correctly. Years had gone by, and she still was the one to handle the finances. Far too many women have unsatisfactory and casual relationships with money in our societies. Considering that money is at the root of everything we do in our lives, having a healthy relationship with money is vital. Cheeoma was far ahead of many women. Women need to shatter the first barrier to financial success, which is their belief that they are incapable of doing so. Cheeoma did not have this problem, but she had one major life-changing problem, and it was being too trusting. For many years, Cheeoma had built a relationship with her banker named Michelle. In over 10 years, their work relationship was solid. Never had there been a problem of mistrust, and never had there been a concern about Cheeoma's account. One Wednesday, midday, Cheeoma received a text from her online banking system to state that she received a significant increase in her account. Hours later, the same banking system sent a message to state the same amount was withdrawn. This concerned Cheeoma so much that she made an appointment to see her banker. They spent over 40 minutes discussing the transaction, with Michelle assuring Cheeoma that there was an error in the transaction, and it was a proven error. Cheeoma was 95% satisfied, but insisted that she would return with her husband to review this matter. The red flags went up with Michelle. Michelle knew that this may lead to a great mistake. Never in the history of Cheeoma's banking did she ever involve her husband. Michelle alluded to Cheeoma that it would not be a good idea to show her husband her account for her business. Wally never took an interest in knowing any of the finances and did not help much with the stores that Cheeoma opened over the years. Well, on Friday, Cheeoma and Wally came into the bank to review the transaction. Michelle provided them both the same overview that was previously given to Cheeoma. This time, the result was different. This time, Wally was in shock. He never stopped to understand the finances. He did not know that Michelle's business was bringing in millions of dollars. He never was added to the account, but now he is being added to the account. The next week, he quit his job. took over the finances, and everything changed from this point. The stability of the finances were shaken. Wally had changed. Cheeoma was becoming depressed. Eventually, Wally took the funds and left Cheeoma. Cheeoma never envisioned that her best friend, her husband, and her confidant doing something like this. Money does not change a person. It just amplifies who the person really is. Her banker knew from experience that something like this would take place. This could be the same if the roles were reversed in this story. Financial stability is critical in leaving a legacy. The great thing about being a Christian is that we have great advantages in God. Because Cheeoma had her trust and faith really in God, her finances were restored to even a greater amount over a 5-year period. Wally went on to marry another woman, and then all that he did began to fall apart. His motives were wrong, and he did not have the favor of God with him. The names in this story have been changed, but the facts are somewhat true. The moral to this story is to ensure that you are financially literate. Please get a phenomenal book called Every Woman Should Be a Millionaire by Naomi John. It has great practical information for any woman to glean from. We created this story for women to reassess their financial situations and to pivot where necessary. Congratulations for taking an interest in finances. Our channel is an anointed channel for Christian stories to be told. These stories showcase Christian life journeys. Viewers can be assured to have a clean, God-centered, passionate, and lesson-filled time in each episode. By liking, sharing, and commenting on this channel, we can take the good news to millions in a simplistic and yet powerfully godly way. Join us in this movement of storytelling. Be inspired by the book called Every Woman Should Be a Millionaire by Naomi John. It has great strategies and resources to ensure that every woman has instructions for financial literacy. Make sure to like, share, and comment on each episode so that we can reach millions. Until we connect again, stay in God's presence and become a blessing to others. Amen.